let's talk about a route that is very underappreciated in Madden 25, especially against the cover 4 blitz meta out of the 3-2 or the 1-4. And that route is the tight end trail. This route is so good because it can be thrown quickly against the walk down pressure when the safeties are in the box, or you could wait on this route and throw this for a little bit more chunk yardage away from the user, because this is a backside combination. And I think that that is one of the more important offenses that you have to develop, is your check down or your away from passing strength offense. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you guys how to best utilize this and keep your offense moving down the field for free first downs against the most common defense you face online. Let's get after it. All right, before we get into this video too deep, if you guys could do me a solid, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell, and maybe even drop a comment below. Helps this channel grow, reach other players just like you looking for tips and tutorial content. I upload content Monday through Friday in the mornings with shorts in the afternoons to keep you on top of the game. And the game right now, as you guys know, is cover 4 blitzing out of the 3-2 and the 1-4. Feels like I do a video on attacking this meta every day, but if you go online for even 5 minutes, you will face this. I guarantee you, if you play 10 opponents, probably 8 to 9 of them will be in a defense like this. And you guys have to have ways that you can attack out of your offense. So what we're going to be doing today is working out of the bunch tight end. I do a lot of bunch tight end content. You guys can find my full offense on Gridiron Game Plans. But if you guys are looking for formations like this, really all you need is the running back and the tight end on the same side of the field. This is a 2-route combo, but that doesn't prohibit you from running this concept out of something more like a gun normal or a doubles type formation as well. You're going to see exactly why when we break this down out of a couple of different formations. But for the sake of just kind of sticking to a primary meta here, let's run the bunch tight end, and we're going to want our tight end to the short side of the field. Now, there are a couple different ways that players like to blitz out of this defense. The first one is going to be a crossfire style blitz, where they basically have a cover 4 shell on the back end, they shade down, and they just switch stick around the defense. Some players will walk down their safeties, other players won't. We'll kind of start off here with the walk down meta. Players will sometimes audible into this, where they call double safety go, and then choose to audible into the crossfire blitz and set it up. Basically, with the safeties down in the box, this is such a good route combination, because when we talk about attacking this, we only really have to work the flat zone defender. So the first thing we're going to do is a horizontal stretch, because this formation only has a running back on the same side as the tight end. He has to attack the flat. So we're going to put him on a table route. You could also use a swing route if you don't have a hot route master, which, just as a reminder, you will need a tight end apprentice or a hot route master for this tip to work. I have master tactician, so I'm going to set up the route combo, and it looks just like this. So this is our 2-route combo on the short side of the field. Now, when the safeties are down low in the box, it is very important that you understand that this is a concept that you will either throw this very, very quick or very, very late. You have 2 options. Don't be in between. So when we start off, let's talk about the quick game. We basically snap this ball, make sure that this is a hard flat, and then you throw a down pass lead and conservative catch. A safety that is walked down in the box for the purpose of taking away quick throws in the seam area of the field cannot stop this. So you see right here, that safety in the quarter on the left is so far deep that we just throw a down pass lead and press A to conservative catch this. For what it's worth, if you guys have the short in or the mid in elite on your tight end for this concept, this is going to help improve your catch and traffic rates. Short in is 0 to 10 yards inside the numbers. So you see that this qualifies as the short in area of the field. If you guys get to a depth of 10 to 20 yards in the middle of the field in between the numbers, so basically past the 50 yard when you throw this, you're going to need the mid in for a catch and traffic bonus. But either way, you see right here, you could throw this pretty routinely and get down for a first down. Now I'm going to show you guys how to throw this out of a different type of formation. Again, the only real rule that we have for this is to have the running back and the tight end on the same side of the formation. So right here, I'm going to run the gun normal Y off, which is pretty popular offensive alignment for a lot of players online. A lot of you guys running that doubles meta out of San Francisco or run and gun or Philly or New Orleans. And again, the concept is basically the same. Now, here's the cool part about this. With the presence of a third receiver on this side of the field, I could actually leave him in the flat and just use a smoke route. Or if I wanted to, I could just put him on a speed out route. I could custom stem this speed out route up, put the running back underneath if I don't feel like I'm getting pressured, and then utilize the Texas route or the trail route back over the middle to the tight end. This is up to you. Obviously, if you feel like you need pass protection, you could block the running back and just leave your extra receiver out there in the flat. Somebody has to occupy the flat to keep the hard flat zone from sitting on the tight end, okay? Now, again, if our opponent walks their safeties down, so they're down super, super tight, we know that we basically have to throw this ball quickly. Basically, snap the ball, down pass lead, press A. Super simple way to move the chains. A lot of players are used to worrying about the running back out of the backfield. A lot of players will man up the running back out of the backfield. I've seen this a lot, especially because one of the things a lot of players will do against a hard flat cover 4 meta is to put the tight end on the flat and put the running back on the streak. And that's such an open throw down the seam that a lot of times players will just man up the running back because that's the player that traditionally gets into that window. In this example, we're kind of inverting that a little bit. So if you notice that players are actually keying the running back with that slot defender, this actually doesn't really do a whole lot of good. A lot of times you'll notice players will maybe roll their coverage, play something like this, thinking the running back streak is coming. And again, all you really have to do is just set up the exact same route combo. Somebody attacking the flat, the running back is also manned up. So you're taking a flat zone or a man defender out of the play. You snap the ball and throw this ball in the middle of the field. Now in this example, you see that the safety, I left them at a little bit deeper depth. This is where this route is going to get you a little bit more of a payoff. Obviously, it's great to have these cheeky little dots that you can use on 3rd and 4th and short, especially against this meta where a lot of players are used to, you know, the running back being the check down guy. But you see right here, when the safety is back further, this allows you to kind of wait on this throw it in rhythm down the middle of the field and pick up bigger yardage. So I want to show you, we're going to go back into the bunch tight end here real quick. But before we do that, make sure you guys go and check out my strategy website, gridirongameplans.gg. Since the start of the Madden season, and honestly all the way back to 2020 when I opened up the website, Gridiron Game Plans has been the #1 place to get better at Madden and also college football as well. For $9.95 a month, you guys unlock everything on the website. That is a weekly updated vault where we focus on the main things that the pros are doing, the meta, and how to beat it when you face it online. You guys also unlock all offensive and defensive game plans and members only Discord access, where every single Wednesday we have a lab session where you guys can show up and ask anything about the game. And if I don't know the answer, we'll work on it in practice mode until we figure out a solve, so you guys can get on with winning more games, spending less on packs, and obviously get the best items in the game just by winning more games. So make sure you guys go check it out. $9.95 a month, best deal in the tip space. Now back to the video. So one of the secrets I want to share with you guys about pulling that weak side safety, especially when they do the walk down blitz, is to actually put a bunch type formation on the field. And the reason for this, and we've talked about this before, is that one of my favorite things to do is to streak the seam on the wide side of the field. For whatever reason, this safety, Clinton Dix, is going to respect Julio Jones if I were to put him on a streak going vertical. And I've done a video on this before where I prove it by putting like a super curl on this side of the field. And then I just show you how when we run this, basically what occurs is the safety on the left has to respect the verticality of Julio on the right, and then they leave this curl wide open in the middle of the field. So you can kind of see how that safety, as I took that sack there, was still running back with Julio. So to kind of illustrate this here, take a look and see how Julio on the other side of the field is running this seam route, and he has to turn and flip his hips and go. Now you see right here, he's still chasing and respecting how deep Julio is going. And you see that this curl route underneath gets left wide open. Now let's go back to that gun doubles or that gun normal where we had an extra receiver, because this is going to be a really cool way that you can kind of get that safety to bail out of the way and open up this tight end route, even when they're walked down. So the presence of this extra player, even if I were to take Clinton Dix and move him down to about 10 yards in the box to take away that seam throw, what you're going to see here is you're going to be able to, with this combo, go with your trail route and your table route. And then from there, I just want to get this receiver on the outside vertical over the top. Just want to kind of like send him flying deep. Just want to get him off the line, because what that does is that's going to make that safety on the left turn and look back And this is going to open up this throw a little bit easier. You'll notice a clear difference between throwing this when it's just the running back and the tight end to the way that this safety reacts when we actually have the presence of this third receiver. So in this example, we're actually utilizing a similar concept. A receiver gets the attention of this inside quarter. It makes him flip his hips and run. And because of this, this is going to make it so they don't just have the ability to put the safety down and take away our kind of chunk yardage window to this route. You'll see right here, like I could actually throw this ball over the middle of the field and my opponent now has to be there to user that. Now, why is that important? Well, that's obviously super important because if we're working our opponent from the cover 4 perspective on the other side of the field as well, they're going to the trouble to walk these safeties down. We know it's a hard flat on both sides of the field. They might be ram blitzing. All I've got to do on this wide side of the field, depending on my formation alignment, is have an out route or a smoke route with a whip route. And then we could go right back to this concept right here on this side. And I know that my opponent has to make a choice. Do they use the tight end or do they use the whip? Now, of course, most people have an affinity for the whip. So what you're going to see a lot of times is they're going to lurk over here. And when this happens, I know that the wide receiver on the left is going to pull that safety back. And now all of a sudden this trail route is 15, 20, 25 yards instead of just being a hot throw. So this throw has so many windows that you can make against the cover 4 blitz meta. I don't care if they're running the ram blitz or the crossfire loop. This is a good call and you should utilize it in your offense, whether you run compression or if you run a spread type formation as well. But I'm going to get up out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and I'll yak at y'all later with a short or tomorrow with another long form video upload. Until then, this is Zan, get in the lab and good luck.